What the deal? This your man, King Louis Allah, on this knowledge, knowledge equality day, which adds up to Allah or God. Um, as I come to embrace Allah as arm, leg, arm, head. If you break down um, I guess you can say Allah is an acronym for arm, leg, arm, head. It's ALLAH. It's arm, leg, arm, head. That is a human being. Um, so when you break down my name, King Lou is Allah is IZ. I as in I as in IC, meaning my third eye, and Z is zigzag zig, meaning you can take that a lot of ways, meaning the route I took to become King Lou is Allah, zigzag zig, two equal Allah, um, as referred to as a human being, as a man, since my name is unknown, to walk, to walk in a, to be able to walk and talk in a place and a space to create my own outcomes. Like people believe God so created the universe or the world or the planet Earth. I'm gonna take responsibility for creating my own outcomes. Right? It's no one else's fault if I don't achieve what I set out to do. This is where establishing a relationship with knowledge comes into play, comes into comes into place. How very important it is to know about all the things you can't know about. So, it's no one else's fault if I don't achieve what I set out to achieve. That means I have not learned enough about what I was trying to do. So I don't place blame on nobody but myself if I don't achieve. So this is where King Lou is Allah is my name. Um, I was like, I heard the nation long ago. I was toying with my name, changing it to Lou Allah back before I got knowledge of self, or started to get knowledge of self. Knowledge of self, you know, probably will be incomplete up until the day we die, because it's a daunting task to learn about everything in existence. But that's what we strive to do. King Louis is Allah. I'm gonna talk about some things. I'm back here barbecuing today. Striving to stay on the right foods. Just a bag of candy can fuck you all up. Things you don't need, like high fructose syrup, corn syrup, processed sugar, processed sweets, man. You can be eating salads all week, but that one bag of sugar, cookies or whatever, candy, that craving for sweets because you be off it so much, can fuck your health all up. So man, I'm still striving to eat clean. I noticed some internal changes, after eating beef, red meat. So now I got to stay clear of that. I've been off it, but I notice, some internal changes if I eat red meat, and it's even halal red meat. So I just be striving to eat right. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm gonna talk about I just want to build real quick of what I was saying last week about how we should not be dependent on the government to lead us, unless they're extremely overqualified to do so. Barack Obama was not that. He was not overqualified. He was underqualified. But I was just reading about, how the Congress is on vacation. It's a congressional break that they're on. And I think the 8th of August, Donald Trump will sign some stimulus package bills, to send us more money. But Bernie Sanders and all these people that was asking for your vote have taken a vacation. And, Donald Trump is asking them to come back from break so they could, decide on if we are to get a second stimulus package and more federal unemployment benefits. Now this goes back to what I was saying about how we shouldn't be dependent on the government, and we should strive to not be dependent on stimulus packages and government decisions. So that's all I'm saying. But I'm gonna talk about the necessity of police. Some people say I'm a street dude, a street nigga. Some people say I'm a college nigga. Some people call me square. Some people call me soft. Some people call me extremely hard. I guess I'm just, well-rounded, diverse. It's called diversity, right? I grew up in all these areas, in school, in the streets. I got some knowledge of, a little bit of all those things that people say I am, I guess, which makes me well-rounded. And so, I think, I'm suited or qualified to speak on these things. The police is a necessity. The police was first formed to catch slaves, to catch our African ancestors. I don't like to use the word slaves, but that's what they turned us into when they kidnapped us from Africa and brought us over here under false pretense and against our own will. So I don't like to use the word slaves, but for simplification purposes, I'm going to say slaves. But our African ancestors, police was first formed to catch slaves, and then it evolved when the government, the 13 colonies, wanted to set up laws to protect their property and other people's property and other people's rights, right? As born human beings, we, have rights. People call them God-given rights. It's self-preservation. It's first rule of nature. Self-preservation. So, in the interest of self-preservation and not to live in a society of chaos, law enforcement was created. And so, if police was not here, we'd be it'd be constant chaos, and it'd be, only the strong survive, type of environment. So, do I think police is a necessity? Yes. They are essential to keep peace and peace-loving or peace-abiding, not law-abiding, but peace-abiding and law-abiding citizens safe. They enhance or ensure that, a decent, good quality of life is maintained. And so when I say good quality of life, I mean, you know, you can go out, you can leave your home without the worry of being robbed. You can drive around your car without being robbed. You can walk down the street without being robbed. You know, if you get killed or robbed, you know, there is people that will seek justice on your behalf. You know, this is the purpose of the police. So your life won't be in in vain. You see? So yeah, I think police is a necessity, but good police. You see what I'm saying? When people don't when people don't when police don't uphold their training, rules and regulations, then society and quality and good quality of life goes down, and it creates a hellish environment. So, you know, good police can, bad police can't. You know, this why we riot, this why we march, this why we protest, this why we fight. You know, so yeah, you know, police is a necessity. You know, just keep, you know, like I was saying, one of them snitching videos, a person shouldn't have, a person that's been incarcerated and out and that's law abiding shouldn't have to risk or take the risk of returning to jail by taking the law in their own hands. This is why the police is, you know. And you know, I was saying, you know, if you been to jail for breaking the law and, you know, you become a victim of, you know, somebody breaking the law on you, you know, why risk the return of going to jail when you can tell the police, you know, that ain't going nowhere? You know, the police exists for situations like that. But you know, some people don't see it that way. They think ain't no snitching, and I ain't know, so I'm gonna go deal with this. That's ridiculous. This is the reason. This one of the reasons police exist. So you know, people that don't know the law don't have to enforce the law, right? So you know, this leads me into you know, I got to, you know, air these dudes out some more, man. You know, these dudes I, you know, grew up on the same street. We went to high school with, grade school with. You know, this dude Fat Stank, man. You know, come to find out, you know, he a big time liar. You know, he called himself Big Hank. You know, I call him Big Stank. You know, he had a big and tall store up there on 6 Mile and Myers that them Robinson dudes robbed him. You know, it was called Big Hank's Big and Tall. I call him Big Stank, you know, named Fat Keith. Big Stank, right? But you know, his brother is a veteran police officer, Detroit police officer. His big brother, older brother. You know, they got the same mother. You know, they look alike, except, you know, his brother not as fat as him. You know, but you know, come to find out, you know, he a big time liar. I'm about to, you know, he told me, you know, when I was saying how, you know, he was helpful in getting me and the dude I was rapping with going by taking us to studios and introducing to some of the people he know, or just, you know, giving us rides, you know. And so we recorded at the dude's house that he knew, you know, our first song, and it come out good, you know. So I wasn't never mad at Fat Keith if he didn't step up and be the manager, road manager, what he didn't know nothing else but to go to the studio. That's what we could get out of him, and I don't have a problem with that. I wasn't expecting any more if he couldn't communicate anymore, which what show he was prepared to do. But he used to tell me back in the day that Rico was his cousin, and that this girl named Alicia, I can't think of her last name. She went to Jesu with us and lived on the same street I was his father's second family, right? He said Rico was his cousin. That's who I known with Doodoo Brown since second, third grade, and was his cousin, the girl. And then he say Jam Master Jay was his cousin. I don't know if that's true. He say he went on a family reunion and he had people in Florida, right? I don't, he say he took clothes to Bruce. He say he drove to Georgia to take some clothes to Bruce. I was like, wow, but he kept on telling me that, Jam Master Jay was his cousin. And I'm like, okay, Jam Master Jay, your cousin, now what? Right? And so, come to find out, he lied a lot. And, I still to this day don't appreciate him connecting me with the Robinsons as part of the people that robbed him. You know what I'm saying? I sat in that man's store with him for at least 3-4 months. And all these people, his mother come through there, his sister, his big cousin, and at any time he could have confronted me and asked me that I had something to do with it. He a liar. When I went in there one time, he really had Vincent Robinson face put up on the computer, his criminal background profile put up on the computer. And so I looked at it, but I wasn't thinking why he would do that until I left. I was, oh. And that's when it all clicked, back in the 90s, they robbed the store, and they went through the roof, and they was talking about going back, they stole some forms, those Adidas forms. And I bought some green ones, and they were selling 8-ball jackets and stuff like that they stole, those leather 8-ball jackets. I was going to Wayne State at the time, and I had this green button down that I got from, this dude I went to high school with, and I was rocking some green forms, some high top Adidas green forms, and some plaid shorts. I thought I was Boys to Men or whatever, but going to Wayne State and a green backpack with Wayne State on it. I thought I was Boys to Men. So, but that's what they do. And so when I realized that, I say, oh, so he must have heard back then. I didn't know Fat Stank had a store when he got robbed in 2000, when I was nowhere around. And, I bet, they insulted me. To that, I mean, people that left alone so you can go get a life, is thinking low of you, right? And, my thing is, and so, and, he was best friends with police, Doodoo Brown, big brother, Officer Stanley Brown. He could have told Officer Stanley Brown and his big brother, Officer Kevin Bennett. Now they work at different precincts that his store was in, but they could have helped him facilitate, getting justice, by telling him who to go talk to at the Palmer Park precinct. You see, and I know he know a lot of police. And so when I left him alone, and at the end of 04, at the beginning of 04, when I left him alone, that's when he started accusing me publicly in the street. And he slandered my name. And every time I talk about, politics and, being the mayor, they bring that up. And he slandered my name. I'm like, this dude then turned on me. He's a fat, heavy hater, right? Nothing but a liar, man. I mean, that's, pure jealousy. Like I say, the dude, he was, perpetrating a long time, and just, turns out, man, he just a fake. He's, he's real spoiled. His parents spoiled him. And people thought he was a successful hustler because of the things he had, because of the vehicles that he had, and his side hustle. So they thought he was, successful at it. But it's all parents' fault, and he still lived with his father. He still lived with his parents. Like I heard him say one time, he got an argument with his mother, cussed him out or something, about a year ago. And he was probably 49, 50 years old, talking about, see, Ma, that's why I don't come live with you. And, he was dead serious. I'm like, you 49 talking about, see, Ma, that's why I don't come live with you. And got a girlfriend, and his father let his girlfriend live with him. He don't work. His store don't generate probably $10,000 a year. If he still had one. He got shut down by New Era when he moved to the what's that building in Southfield, cross street from Old Northland, the Advanced building or something. He had a store in there, and the New Era crew come in there and was beefing with the owner. And he tried to stand with the owner, and he almost got smacked and stomped. And so I think he moved out of there. So, but I left people alone in 94 when we couldn't, 95 when they didn't want to rap, they didn't want to do nothing. That was far they were prepared to go. And I'm like, wow, And so I had to, and that's when they turned on me, so I had to pull off. I had to peel off, and go for self. But this opportunity lost. He could have got justice. He didn't show himself to be a real friend or a real man when faced with this adversity, when people turned on him. See, when they turned on me, everybody was cool, and he kept, they all kept rolling with the dudes that turned on me. Instead of saying, y'all wrong for that, y'all foul. And so when they bite him, they look, so when they bite them, they look at me like, you were supposed to, how am I supposed to do anything? I wasn't fucking with them, and when they bit me, you didn't jump in and hit them for me. So, man, I was like, man, the police, y'all brothers, and y'all don't, that's ridiculous, man. And I think it come from them not, having their own, having their own. So, man, no, I'm not into robbing people no more. I fucked around at 18, 19, but I'm not into that no more. I shouldn't have to say this, but, you can look at my life, I'm not into that no more. So, but, yeah. So, yeah, man, these dudes turn, man, and they could have utilized their family to get justice, man. It's crazy, man. I would have, if I had brothers or close cousins that was police, I would talk to them directly, and and I know them brothers is close because they grew up in the same house, and their mama, don't like them fighting and stuff like that. So it's ridiculous why he didn't, why he would, say, and he don't even blame them dudes. He say, it was me and somebody. I was crazy, dude. I robbed your store. I can't even wear the clothes. They was, he had size 50 and up. 48s, that's too big. 5X, that's way too big for me. So I can't even wear the stuff. So if I stole it, I would have to sell it to somebody. And I ain't, you can go get them people to test. I don't know them many big people. You see what I'm saying? So it wasn't no, it wasn't no money involved on it. It wasn't me. So yeah, man. But so no, I don't get down like that, and I'm insulted. I'm a friend lost. You know what I'm saying? We ain't never gonna be cool. You think low of me, You slander my name because you ain't done shit with yourself, but live off your parents like it's okay. Like that's what a man is supposed to do. Men don't, live off their parents for their whole life. You're not a man. You were like a man child. You're still a boy. Your mama's boy, a father's boy, a boy. You're not a man. The Bible say when a man takes a wife, he leave his parents, right? The Bible say you supposed to put away childish things and become a man, right? Childish things is, you know, things, childish things could be taken as your way of thinking, right? I mean, as you can see, your father and mother gainfully employed. They work to buy a house, maintain a house, and keep a house and cars and food. But you can't do the same. So, how can you call yourself a man? Because you still under your parents. That's not a man. Man grow up and go out into the world as a man and build and have their own. You see? And so, man. But, yeah. So, I've been checking out, Big Gene and what he been saying about Combs and everything. People don't get tired of it, man. But it's like most things, the more people talk, things come to light. Like, people think, that dude Combs, PussyKombs, is like innocent, right? And Big getting killed. And, the more and more people talk and tell just little details, it's like, wow, this dude like conspired with the people that was making the threats. Now, he may not have known the people that was making the threats, but it's like he conspired with them to take the hit off him and put it on Big when he when he called Big from California. The way they tell it is, him and Gene was in California. And, he was working on some album. And he called Big. And now they say Big was in New York recuperating with a broke leg. Lil C's and him got in that car accident. And they said Big broke his leg and he was on a cane and a walker, right? So, if Big is disabled, why he couldn't stay in New York, right? Why he couldn't heal? Why he couldn't chill, let that Tupac shit cool off and stay in New York? You see, PussyKombs, in my opinion, based on what they say, coerced, pressured, seduced, manipulated Big to come to California. And then when they get to California, they get in an argument about some, him writing for, some other people, right? And, the way they tell it, PussyKombs was heated. He was heated. And so, he got Big to California on a broke leg, right? Now, I don't know if that was the same day or, did they like a week before. I don't see if they talking about that's the same day or a day in advance. The plane ticket had to be like at least $200, at least $1,000 to $2,000 to fly out there. Back then they wasn't super paid, so money was tight. That's expensive to fly, your whole crew out there. And Big whole crew had to come out with Lil C's and C Gutter and some of his homeboys, right? And so that's that's a lot of people to travel at short notice. That bill get kind of high. So for him to get Big out there on a broke leg, right? Got him out there on a broke leg. Then they was saying how Big said so he promised Big they were just gonna do some promotion, radio, studio, hotel, no parties, none of that, right? But they make it sound like Big could have went to London or back to New York. He had a flight waiting on him to leave after he got done promoting, right? And they saying PussyKombs made him miss his plane, right? Now I'm not saying Big could have said, well, come on, man, I ain't doing that, let's go. But it was like more pressure was put on Big to stay, right? And so PussyKombs get in an argument. And so, this the Soul Train Awards. PussyKombs get in an argument with one of the Fruit of Islam dudes at the Soul Train Awards. The dude say, you can't walk through here this way, you gotta go back the other way. Nah, Soul Train Awards hired the Fruit of Islam for security. So, the Fruit of Islam was all right, telling him he can't go this way, but PussyKombs, big-headed, ego out of control, all in the Fruit of Islam face, so they say, right? And so then later on, they were still getting death threats. After the Soul Train Awards, they were still getting death threats. Dude from jail, I don't want to miss Unique Mecca Audio. He just got out. That's one of Gene homeboys. Unique Mecca Audio. Say a gangster from New York was in jail in California, was beefing with some California niggas in the work, and he called Gene and say, don't go, get out, wear your vest, leave, right? That's one of Gene homeboys. And and he told him it's a hit on y'all, right? So Gene was getting information from a lot of people that's in the streets, that's incarcerated, saying it's a credible hit on Bad Boy, right? That that include whoever with Bad Boy, right? Puff, PussyKombs, and Big, right? And so it was a credible hit. And they say PussyKombs further manipulated or coerced or pressured Big to stay. And so with all that being said, he was in California way before Big got out there. And I guess he was living out there. I don't know, he was staying at Andre Harrell house because they close. Or he had his own apartment or hotel or whatever. And so they wind up after the Soul Train, after the argument with the FOI, they wind up at Quincy Jones, at Khadijah Jones after party, right? I forgot who she threw it with, and that party was held not 1 mile, about a half a mile, if that, from death row offices. Now it was it was a lot of parties going on. It was a lot of after parties going on in Los Angeles at that time. Metro Los Angeles, that's all the sub Beverly Hills. They could have went to any one. But PussyKombs is saying we going to that one, down the street from Death Row. Now, everybody say Big shouldn't been out there after Tupac got killed. Now, Tupac got killed in Vegas. And see, but PussyKombs was associated with the guys that shot Fagavelli, Tupac. They was associated with them. They was publicly associated with them. And they was cool with them. And so, like I said before, man, it's like, from the outside, right? If I'm standing across the street watching this and knowing that the dudes Bad Boy Cool with shot Suge and Fagavelli, right? Then I'm like, oh shit, right? And they down the street from Death Row. I mean, that's like, I got bigger balls than you. I shot you, or I'm affiliated with the people that shot you, so much so that the day you get shot, I call the people that shot you and ask, was that us? Right? I need to know so I can take credit and, watch my back, right? And so, how, now to me, I'm just a observer artist, right? And so I didn't take none of that rap beef, none of that rap this serious enough that it would lead to, this kind of response from these people, right? From these dudes, right? I'm thinking, they gonna answer back like, fuck your crackhead mama, right? And so, but they sent, and so they claim, they want Bad Boy want to take responsibility, or PussyKombs want to take responsibility for shooting up Suge and Tupac, right? I call Tupac Fagavelli for my own personal reasons, but y'all know what I'm saying. And so now they all down the street from Death Row. So if I'm about to go in a party parked on the other side, I say, oh, there go the Crips and Bad Boy going in Khadijah Jones' party. Now why PussyKombs? Now why PussyKombs pick Khadijah Jones' party when he was going to allow her to drink his piss at Jack the Rapper back in the day? Right? He don't have no respect for Quincy Jones or Khadijah Jones. So why he choose that party, that location, right? See what I'm saying? And so then, they say, and so now it's pictures of the FOI or Muslim dressed people, attired people in that Khadijah Jones party at the Auto Museum, looking at Big and PussyKombs at the table, and Big Gene back there with his gun out and everything, doing his job. And so, it's like, and so they say the Muslim dude walked up to PussyKombs and Gene Suburban, looked in it, and then he walked off. And then next thing you know, they had drove off, and the next thing you know, Big Suburban getting shot up. You see? It's like, PussyKombs could have sent him a telepathic message like, shoot that Suburban up, right? But if he would have just let Big chill, right, and done promotion after, and just let him heal, so he wouldn't be a sitting duck. See what I'm saying? Big, Big was a sitting duck with a broke leg. He ain't, 100%. He got a broke leg. He couldn't duck, move. You know what I'm saying? He just a big target. And maybe that was PussyKombs' intent, to give the hitters a bigger target than himself. You see? He say they were saying Death Row lost a rapper, now y'all gotta lose a rapper. Well, you say, what that got to do? Because they affiliated with the dudes that shot Tupac and Suge, you see? But, PussyKombs ain't shit, man, to just not, they was saying like, I pay you this money. They was saying how Big had to finish his mama house or some shit. He was like, I get you some money. I do this for you. I do this. He just did anything to get him out there. That's a foul dude. You understand? Yes. So, man, that's a foul dude. And, these dudes ain't, they ain't shit, man. Man, jealousy and hatred, man. You see what I'm saying? It just runs rampant, through the black community. You know what I'm saying? Divided we stand. United we stand, divided we fall. So man, brothers, that dude foul. It's a foul dude, man. It's a foul dude. Man, and it's hard to believe, that, they say Big shit itself and peed on itself. There was very little blood, and they say Big is a big dude, and so that bullet stayed in him. And he was bleeding internally, and that's a sign of death when you shit yourself and piss yourself. That's a sign of death. You see what I'm saying? That's like you finna go, that's your bowels leaving you. So, dude foul. And so he using, Big's death to live in California and say, y'all killed Biggie, that should be enough. I'm gonna chill, this, that, and the third. Man, dude ain't shit. He trying to capitalize on setting dude up. He, in my opinion, put him in the lion's den so them lions could get him. Man, it's deep, man. It's deep. Gene say he didn't know Death Row was a quarter mile, 5 blocks down the street. He's saying hindsight, it looked like that car that turned, that shot, that the gun come out of and shot Big. They say when Gene chased it, the car disappeared somewhere, but they look back and say the car could have turned up in Death Row parking lot. So now, I'm not saying Suge or nobody, y'all got to do your own research, but it's deep, man. It's deep. So I'm just saying, man, how, and this all comes from the lie that, Bad Boy done something to Tupac, right? In New York, that shot him at the studio. And so it's like, Tupac lied on Big, PussyKombs, and they was very jealous of him, man. And all that jealousy from people that close to you can lead to your demise, your destruction, right? And so this is why I'm airing these dudes out. This is why I'm talking to them through social media. They say, well, I was like, they was like, I was like, y'all could have talked to me. Y'all could have asked me. They say, well, you could have talked. I say, well, the same thing stands today. Y'all could have talked to me. So I'm talking through them, about them, through social media, man. I'm not, messing with jealous dudes like this, man. They will be your destruction, your demise. Even if you have to go to jail for taking their life, that's still your demise, right? If you don't have finances to sustain, your living situation while you're incarcerated. You see? So, po niggas like I'm dealing with, and po hating niggas like Big was dealing with PussyKombs and Facavelli, can be your destruction. So, your friends ain't your friends. So be careful who you trust, especially when they try to come between you and us. Now that's a line from, Jesse Powell remix. Y'all I need, right? But yeah, he say, I will give you one of my eyes so you can see that your friends ain't your friends, so be careful who you trust. Man. So, yeah, man. Yeah, that's it. I'm out. Peace.